Yeah, dude, you look good. Where'd you get a haircut?
Oh yeah, this one. I got a cut. Uh, how's that background? Is that not good?
That's perfect, dude.
All right,
How's the weather been?
dude. There's been like it actually snowed. What day was that? Whatever, like 4 or 5 days ago, like 2 inches. But that's the only precip we've had since before New Year's.
Yeah. It's been a while, huh?
Yeah, so bluebird days, really fast Nordic skiing because the snow transforms like in these conditions and gets super fast.
Yeah.
So that's pretty fun.
Have you been riding at all?
No, but I might go ride today with Harrison.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sick.
It's been definitely riding weather,
Yeah,
like
for sure.
50s or the highs.
Yeah, I'm jealous I'm not there. It was pretty nice in Saudi, but in Europe, it's been pretty grim.
Really?
Yeah, not great. Lots of bad
Yeah, I
weather here.
saw. Well, Mallorca looked good. The first stage looked. I was watching a few of those stages. The first one looked
Yeah.
bad, and then the rest were good.
Yeah. Yeah. To be
But
honest, it's
that's my
always
it's
hit or miss
Mallorca.
in Mallorca. It's either really nice in
Hmm.
Mallorca or, like, snowing and horrible at this time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's start this thing. Or did
We're
you already
already
start?
Yeah, dude, we're already rolling.
Oh, people have been listening to us talk about that stuff?
I thought it'd be better to just start it immediately.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Dude,
So,
sometimes we talk about funny stuff in the first couple minutes, and then we're like, "Damn, I wish
mhm,
we were recording."
yeah, okay. Well, thanks for the heads up. So I watched I watched the highlights of Alula Tour.
"What, you didn't
Look
watch me
like
live, bro?"
well, it's and I'm out the door early in the morning. Anyway, it was very windy, but
Yeah,
man, gorgeous landscape. Like looks like Monument Valley in Utah almost.
that's what we were saying. We thought it was, like, kinda like Moab, kinda like Zion a little bit. It was pretty awesome. It's beautiful there.
Yeah, how are the accommodations? I'm always curious. I
One
bet
a
they were nice.
one accommodation, it was an entire race village, like, everybody stayed in the same place, and I had my own casita. I had my own living room, my own kitchen, big bathroom, huge queen size bed, 2 AC units that work perfectly.
You mean you didn't have a roommate?
No roommate, dude. Everybody had their own rooms.
Shut up.
Yeah. I was like, "Dude, it can't get better from here. The start of the year is perfect. This is great."
Yeah, because next you're gonna go to like some little French race and be in a Formula One hotel. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
ever been in those, but
No, man. Have you been
or
in
a
an Ibis?
Campanile. Yeah, Ibises they're okay. Well, no, you're right. I'm thinking Novotel. Novotels are okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
No.
Campaniles are not good. You can't
No.
open your suitcase in a Campanile.
No. No, and you're on a little it's, like, worse than a single. It's like, I can't even I'm too long. My feet are hanging off the edge.
You know, by the end of your career, you're gonna develop an art form of how to organize the room when you get in there. Like
Uh-huh.
a lot of times you go into those, I think it's Campaniles where the beds are together.
Yeah.
And like
Yes.
you go in with your roommate, the first thing you do is like you don't even bring your suitcase in the room because there's not enough room. You go in, you separate the beds, you put the night tables in between, you move things around, like you get stuff out of the room to create room, and then you have to like set up your suitcase in a way that you can flip it open to get into, but then you have to close it every time because otherwise you can't walk through the room. Like it's a whole art form.
Yeah, man, I've had some pretty bad experiences where it's the middle of summer and you're in a tiny little French hotel and,
Hmm.
there's no AC and it's hot as
Hmm.
balls and you gotta sleep naked, but the beds are too small and you're really close to the guy next to you and it's just, oh.
You got to have your own personal portable fan that you bring with you.
You would have that?
Oh yeah.
No way. That could be
And
a game changer.
sometimes a humidifier because like in the Tour de France, for example, you get in a hotel like that in the third week and it's like it's so hot and you can't it's kind of an old wives' tale, but you really can't turn on the AC because it dries the air out and you'll
Mm,
end up with post-nasal drip. And I definitely had that a few times in the tour because you're breathing so hard. And if the AC's on, the air is dry and you'll get like a crack in your throat and it leads to, like, bronchitis eventually.
Really?
So, yeah,
'Cause
like,
all the Europeans that I've roomed with, which is basically everyone I've ever roomed with, they're always so freaked out about turning the AC on. They think they're gonna get sick, and I'm like, "Dude, that's not how it works." That is
it is, dude, I'm telling you, I used to be in your shoes, and I was like, "What are they talking about?" But it dries the air out, and that's really key when you're breathing super hard because 'cause you're trying to recover, and you can crack like, when you wake up and you're like, "Oh my god, my mouth and my throat are so dry."
yeah, yeah.
If it gets dry enough, it actually cracks, and then you have, you have postnasal drip, that's what it is, and you'll get
Wow.
sick from that. So, a
I believe
fan,
some shit,
a
Levi.
humidifier, nasal strips to help open up your airways.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
You had a whole system down.
whole system, man.
Wow. Dang.
You
So
know, and
you always
to
traveling
to
with big
tell
suitcases then.
well, no, you just I mean, Tour de France,
Fucking
you can
humidifier is like this big.
no, you can get little ones. You can get little one
Really?
dude,
Uh,
the team should have, like, big fans for you guys that like, you guys they have to have this stuff to keep you healthy. You know, there was a point where the UCI said, "No more needles of any kind." Like, that meant no saline,
yeah.
IV drip
Which I think this is crazy
afterwards.
because that's just
It
pure.
is. It is because when that happened and we couldn't get any, like, intravenous vitamins or saline, like, rehydration, I got sick every tour.
Yeah,
Before that, I never got sick.
yeah. That I find that, like, the no needles thing, like, I get it, but, a
Yeah.
hydration drip or something like that is so important.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look, now I'm gonna start getting tested, like, every day by USADA.
No, no, I mean, dude, your generation is it's so much better off. The testing is
Yeah,
so much more, advanced than it was for when I came into the sport that, like, they were like, "What do we do?" I mean, they were
yeah.
so far behind what was going on. So,
At team camp in January here in Girona, we had, somebody from the ITA come and do a presentation at our team camp, which is funny.
what's ITA?
The International Testing Agency.
Is that, like, under, IOC?
Mm, I think it's maybe parallel to WADA.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I think they run I think they are, like, who all the, like, USADA or, like, Canada's agency or Italy's agency or whatever, like, all the countries' agencies, they all report to the ITA maybe.
So
Uh,
it is essentially WADA because WADA is under
yeah.
IOC,
Mhm.
World Anti-Doping.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
imagine it's similar to that, but to be honest, I'm not super I don't
it's in
know.
that whole umbrella.
Yeah.
All these acronyms can't keep up.
Yeah, seriously. Alright, so should we get
Okay,
into Alula?
yeah, yeah. Tell me. So it looked windy. Well, I want to ask you that crash that happened on the descent of 100K an hour or whatever. It
Yeah.
looked to me like the first guy who drifted. He was a smaller guy, right? On
Mm,
UAE.
yeah,
I'm wondering, like, if those deep wheels got blown because I know as a light rider you can get really blown around on deep wheels. Is that what happened?
you can. No, so there was do you know what a cat eye is? All the Europeans were calling
Hmm.
them cat eyes. We call them just
Yeah, the little.
reflectors. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
California has a ton of them. We used to
yeah,
dodge them in Tour California all the time.
yeah. So, there was a million in Saudi.
Mm,
Instead of, like,
mm,
speed bumps or, like, colored strips that have reflection, they just use these cat eyes, and they are hard
mm.
as rocks, man, and they're just everywhere, and on this descent, we're going I hit
Wait, hold on. How big are they?
mm, maybe half a foot by half a foot,
Oh, they're that big.
and they're raised about 3 inches off the ground.
What? But they're like a dome, right? Like, just like in California.
They're like, they're kinda angled on each side with a flat top.
Oh, damn, dude.
They're when you hit them, it's like you're hitting a rock.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so I hit 106 down this descent, but when I saw the crash, because we won the chase or won the drag race over the top, and so
I
we were
saw that.
first
Yeah.
wheel into the descent, um, and then we got up to speed, like, instantly, and I started to grab brake at, like, 105. I hit 106, but some guys hit, like, 115, which for the Americans, that's, like I hit 65.
70,
I hit 65, some guys
75.
were going 70, which
Yeah.
is horrifying, and so this guy hit a cat eye
Mm.
going this fast, and his tire exploded and went off the rim and, drifted all the way across. One guy hit him, other guy tried to slow down, hit him. I'm surprised only 3 guys crashed because it was so scary for me, man. Because this happened right in front of me onto the left, and so I had to go into the right, but there was, like, gravel and loose shit all on the side of the road, and I was just my balls were in my mouth, man, and,
Uh-huh.
yeah, a really nasty crash. Those guys are lucky to walk away alive, but they had some really nasty, injuries that we heard about. I don't know if we should talk about it because it's pretty gruesome, but,
Yeah,
uh,
I've just read some headlines. It's pretty gruesome. But
yeah.
honestly, I mean, they all like stood up, which I was like, "Oh my god, those guys are lucky to be alive."
The one guy that finished the stage on Quickstep broke his back, and he finished the stage.
Uh-huh.
Um, there's gotta be some, Safer, which is, like, the safety organization that runs all the signage and everything and deals with, like, race routes and stuff, came to all the teams after that stage and asked us for our opinions on things. Um, there needs to be some sort of reform for, like, when people crash. um, it's hard to say because some crashes are minor and some are obviously much more major, but you shouldn't be able to get immediately back up on the bike without getting some sort of assessment. Cause
Well, but I thought that they did have a concussion protocol.
I mean, I could crash and then get right back on my bike and get behind the team car and get paced back into the race without getting a head check.
Yeah, if you're up quick enough.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like if you're still on the ground when the medic comes, you should have your back stabilized and shouldn't be able to move because I've heard some stories of people who have gotten up and, like, looked around and then, like, they have a unstable fracture and, like, it just severs their spinal cord and they get paralyzed, like,
When did
that
that
should
happen?
be
I never heard of
hasn't
that.
happened in a race, but one of my buddies was telling me a story of his friend who was in training and went into the back of a he was on a TT bike and went into the back of a parked car and, got up and, like, was looking around and, like, severed his spinal cord and, um, was paralyzed. Is paralyzed, so
Whoa.
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, yeah, that was the gnarliest crash I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, that sticks with you,
Yeah,
and it won't be the last time you see something, and it's tough because when you're young, early in your career, ignorance is bliss,
yeah,
and as you get older and you see more of that stuff, it's just gets harder to shake.
yeah, but that I mean, you say ignorance is bliss, but at the same time, like, there is absolutely no reason that you need to be racing down that descent, you know?
It's so funny because it's like the same it's exactly what we were saying, like, 15, 20 years ago. Like, why are we racing down all these descents? And it just keeps happening because the
Yeah,
races I watched it in my career, like descents started to decide races more and more and more. And it just it perpetuates. So then everybody's like, oh, you gotta race for the position in the descent. And every time. It's crazy.
yeah, but well, the kid that crashed on UAE was a development rider, so I assume very young. I don't know, like, even in my head, like, once I got over 100 Ks an hour, I was like, "This is scary. What are we doing?"
Mhm,
And, I
mhm.
started to try and slow down, whereas I don't know, younger kids maybe think that they're like, it's all sunshine and rainbows, but things
Yeah,
can
or
change
they're
really
just
fast.
telling themselves, don't be afraid, and then they go past the limit.
Yeah.
I think it's good to, like, honor your limits and stay safe because this is a long game, Cole. You're
Yeah.
not gonna your career will not be made on one descent.
Right. I know. Yeah.
It'll be made on surviving 1,000%.
Yeah.
So
100%.
don't
So
yeah, don't worry about hitting the brakes. I think it's the right call.
yeah, yeah. No, I was totally fine breaking, and we all the guys we talked about it after we all, aside from the guys who like were literally first wheel down it who didn't grab brake. When we were starting to get passed by guys, like you're going 100K an hour and some guys are passing you like 115. I'm like, dude, no, I'm okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'll slow down a
Tour
little bit.
by the way, Tour Switzerland is like this. They build their alpine passes steeper in Switzerland than anywhere else, and
Mm,
multiple times I hit 112, guys some guys 116, and
mm,
it's just like, dude, your internal, primal alarms are going off like, "What am I doing? This is stupid."
yeah, yeah. So yeah, those guys that hit the deck are really lucky to walk away alive.
Yeah. Okay, let's
Simply
move
put.
on though. But I mean,
Let's
it
let's
looked
move
like
on.
you
Well, do you want to? Did
yeah,
you see
your
that?
team did see what?
Did you see that crash on stage one when that guy was trying to fight me for position? Uh,
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I gave you shit like, "You just crashed that guy." But
yeah.
no, I know, it just happens, but, like, dude, that's the worst when you're in the gutter, but there's a curb. He
Hmm.
fell over the curb. Oh,
Yeah, man.
we've all
Yeah,
been there in that position.
yeah. But I mean, the guy that caused the crash, who was on my left, he was I was getting the door closed on me. There was like the Bahrain team was moving left because the wind was coming from the right. And like just grab some brake. People are so afraid to just grab brake and lose a few positions, but the door was closing on this guy and he tried to shoot a gap to my left that just didn't exist in between the DSM rider. And he caused both those guys to go down. Thankfully it wasn't a bigger crash, but like sometimes I just wonder what is going through people's head. Like it's not that serious, man. Just grab a little bit of brake, lose a few positions.
Yeah, I mean, your bars were in front of his, so he's gonna lose out.
Yeah, yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Okay, enough of the
No,
crashes.
I didn't
Let's
I didn't mean to make you feel bad. I was just teasing.
No, I know,
I
but a lot of people
I
were
could
saying that in the comments on that Instagram
Oh,
post.
well, they don't know what to talk about. Don't
No,
worry
they
about
didn't.
it.
Not
They
at
they
all.
haven't been in that position.
No.
When you watch a bike race, especially the overhead view of the peloton, it looks so calm. You're like, "Oh, I
Mhm.
could be in there." But then when you're in it, it is
Chaos.
just war zone. Like, you're so stressed and you guys are at
Mhm.
such close quarters at such high speeds. Like, the camera just does not do it justice.
Mhm. Not at
It's
all.
so mentally draining.
Yeah, it is, and especially when it's, crosswinds from kilometer 0, and it's a
Mhm.
3.5, 4-hour day, and there's
You're
corners
fighting in
like
the neutral already, aren't you?
yeah, I mean, not really in this race because the roads are so wide, but still, it's like the first 5 like, as soon as the flag drops and as soon as the brake goes away, it's like it's curb to curb and everybody's, like, drag racing for the corners. And then,
Uh,
like so my job was to, like, do the drag race essentially to each corner, and, I basically won every corner until the time when it actually split in the crosswinds, 'cause I'm fine that it's just a mental game at that point because everybody can be switched on at the start of the race, but, like, every time you get to these corners and then it doesn't split, you kinda become a little bit more complacent each time because 'cause you're like, "Oh, fuck,
mhm,
it's not gonna
mhm.
split that time, it didn't split the last
Yeah,
corner." And then
exactly.
finally and then
Mhm.
finally, this one corner, Trek just absolutely beats everybody to this corner, and they just nuke it, and bam, it was just bah, 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 bah. So,
Yeah,
I
I
learned
think
some good lessons.
yeah, I think I mean, for me, when I hear you say that, like, it's you start racing for those corners, like, earlier in the stage, it's almost like you have to be like, "Okay, the first half of the race, it's a 90% race." You're not gonna give it your all. You don't have to be the first in those corners. You just need to be in good position.
Mhm.
But then as the race progresses, you're like, "Okay, now I really need to switch on." Because it's like the chances of it splitting go up as the stage gets longer.
Yeah, so that first stage, um, that was kinda my takeaway. I was like, "Okay, I need to be a little bit more chilled at the start so that I have some mental energy for the later part
Exactly.
of the race." And then the next crosswind day, first corner.
No way, really?
Dude,
Like, not the
first
whole
corner,
race?
it was like
A big
first
chase the
corner,
whole day?
it's first corner, it's split into a bunch of groups, and then
Oh,
we turn into a headwind section, it comes back, but you're scrambling, you don't know if it's gonna come back. So you're
uh,
scrambling, and then you get there and you're like, "Oh, finally I made it." Next corner, boom,
yeah.
echelons. And it
So
was
you're
like a
on the back foot all day.
yeah, yeah. So it
Yeah,
was like I kept making I I have so much more, like, knowledge now about how to do it, and I'm so excited to go to UAE and, like, try and now put all these lessons that I got from this race, but yeah, I would put on the back foot early that day.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like I mean, you always wanna be in the draft, even if it's your job to lead your teammates, you wanna, like, make it as easy on you as possible because you wanna be able to do it more corners in the stage, right? So it's like good position, but not wasting energy. It's such a fine line.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. But then, yeah, on the stages where they had the mountaintop finishes, we there wasn't really crosswinds those days, and we nailed it as a team. It was so
Yeah.
good. It was so cool to see everybody, like, come together and do their jobs 100%. It was super good.
So on the deciding stage, like whatever the queen stage,
Mhm.
the highlights just showed it after the climb when it was flat.
Mm.
But like what happened? Did you guys go into the climb all together?
Yeah, yeah, we went in all together, but, we didn't wanna be first wheel into the climb because 'cause they're, like, big roads, so
Mhm.
it's better to just like, some guys, we were kind of on the fence of whether we just wanted to take a side, like, pick the left or pick the right and just hold it. But, it's like this slow drag up for 6Ks. It was like 6Ks at 3% before the wall
So
started.
a lot of draft.
A lot of draft, but
Yeah.
if you're too far up, you lose a lot of energy. So we
Yeah.
decided just to keep a bubble around our 2 guys that were going for the stage and, just, like, hover in the top 30 and just keep them out of trouble,
Perfect. Yeah.
and it worked great. So as soon as we hit the wall, we all let go and let those guys do their thing. Um But yeah, we nailed it all day. The run-in kinda got a little bit hectic with, like, 20 Ks before the bottom of the climb. Everybody kinda started racing.
Uh-huh.
Um, but, yeah, actually that stage, so we were, like, 3rd team or 4th team on the road all day. It was kind of in a line pretty much
Yeah.
all day.
Where
But,
it's like one team, then the next team, and then yeah,
And then, like,
blocks.
halfway through the stage, Astana came up to us and tried to take our spot, and I was the first guy behind DSM, or Picnic, and, I I told him to fuck off, and so we were fighting for position for a while, and then finally I told the guy that I was fighting with on Astana, I was like, "Dude, I could do this all day if you wanna do this all day, or you can just sit there and fucking right next to me, and I can ride right next to you all day." And so he was like, "Yeah, that's better." So we just did that. We just rode
Uh,
right next to each other behind the Picnic. And then it was
so you
Picnic
like
just
kind of shared the draft a little bit?
we kinda shared the draft, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like half in the wind, half in the draft.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
look at you. You're such a what's the word? Ambassador. Or
Yeah,
no,
a
whatever.
diplomat.
There you go. Such a
Um,
diplomat. Making friends, dude. It's important.
it is important, until they decided to crash themselves out. There it was a bit of a fishtail in the front because the wind direction kept kinda changing, so all the guys were kinda, like, stacked against each other, and, the
Uh-huh.
fishtail kinda caught, Astana out, and they crashed,
Yeah.
and he crashed to Higita, actually, which was their GC guy, so,
Oh, that's why he wasn't up there.
no, Higita actually did a good stage, but
Oh,
he had crashed
I
earlier.
couldn't tell where he was because it was Christian and then your guy and then a
Yeah,
couple guys. Was
I
he
think,
Higita going for like third?
he ended up getting 2nd on GC. I think he did pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was we were kind of, like, laughing at them all day because they were kinda telling us off, like, expecting that we would just give them the wheel because we're a small team, but
Uh-huh.
we weren't taking their shit, and we were kinda laughing at them. And then they crashed themselves out, and we were like, "Bro, what are you guys doing?" Um,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, I think I said before, you deserve to be there. You just have to like do it in a respectful way.
Yeah.
Cause, like what goes around comes around in this sport. And you're going to
Mhm.
face those guys in the next few races. And, if you start to build a reputation of being a dick or whatever, that it comes back to you.
Yeah. And there are definitely some of those guys that have that reputation in the sport of being a dick.
Oh,
We
yeah.
all know who they
Always
are.
have been. Do
Yeah.
you want to name names?
No. Not until I retire. You can name some names. Who are the dicks of your time?
Oh, it's so funny because some of the guys that I just thought were dicks, I ended up I'm gonna give you one example. I think I already talked about this, but Andreas Kloden, when he was on T-Mobile Telecom, like, he was so stoic and he's such a good rider, like, he could do it all, climb, time trial, position well, but he was so stoic and, like, wouldn't give you a space at all, and I just didn't like the guy, and then became teammates on Radio Shack, and we were like roommates. We were like BFFs. It was amazing. He
It's
was
always
like the
better to
greatest guy. We went skiing together after we retired. Like,
no way.
yeah, I love that guy.
Dude, that's funny. It's always
Mhm.
better to be teammates with the dick in the peloton than be
I mean, he
riding
wasn't a dick. He was just a really tough competitor he wouldn't give you an inch. He wouldn't like yell at you or anything, but it was just
Mm,
like, man, this guy just he won't budge.
that's funny.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Um, alright, we have a few questions.
Oh, yeah. That's
Um,
from my nephew. He texted me.
he watches the
Very
pod.
Yeah, he does. And very considerate to, write up these questions.
Yeah, it's really nice of him.
Do you want me to ask him?
Yeah, we can kinda alternate.
Okay.
You
I'll
start.
go first. Yeah. So his first question, my nephew Robbie, by the
Mhm.
way, he said, "Name a location where you want to ride that you haven't before." That's pretty easy for me. Like, I've ridden all of the iconic climbs in cycling except for the Stelvio. Well, let me correct. I've ridden one side of the Stelvio, but I've never ridden the side with 47 switchbacks. I've ridden
Really?
the other side. Yeah.
Okay, so what happens if I do the Giro next year or whenever Modern Adventure does the Giro and the Stelvio's there? You gonna come?
Sure. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess that would be a good time to ride it. Like, go up ahead of the race and watch you go by.
Yeah,
I think,
that'd
by
be
the way,
pretty
I
cool.
think that's the way to see like a big bike race is to ride your bike up there. I mean, it's the only way to get up there, really. But
Yeah.
you have to stand around for a little bit, but it's worth it. Just
It
pack some
gives and it
clothes.
gives you a perspective as well
Mhm.
on how hard
Yeah.
it is. A lot of people
Yeah.
that just watch cycling from the couch, they think, it's easier than it is.
I could do that.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
Um,
about you? I mean, I'm sure you have a lot of places you'd like to ride that you will
yeah,
ride.
I mean, of course, I will probably do Alpe d'Huez at some point in my career, but it'd be really cool to race up Alpe d'Huez. That would be insane. I've only seen
Yeah.
videos
Lot
of,
of
Dutch
lot of
Corner and
history.
everything.
Yeah, dude, Dutch corner. So 2004 Tour de France, we had a time trial up Alpe d'Huez, and normally the crowds in the tour, they give you energy. You're like, I'm on the biggest stage on earth. Like, you literally just soak up the energy, and it makes you go beyond what you thought you could do. It's just amazing. But
Mhm.
that day on Alpe d'Huez, the time trial, it was so overwhelming that it was like it actually kind of rattled me a little bit. Like, it was too much. And Dutch Corner was insane. And we stayed at the top that night. And the next day we drove down to go to the next stage. And dude, it was a garbage dump.
Wow.
Like TVs, like broken down RVs that they like trashed and like the whole way down. It was insane. Like, they estimated well over 1,000,000 people just on that 13-kilometer climb.
No way.
You know what's
That's
unique? You
insane.
know what's unique about Alpe d'Huez is the switchbacks are flat.
So you go really fast around them, no? You can't even pedal.
Well, normally, you do a switchback and the inside is steeper, the
Yeah.
outside is less, but it gets steeper, right? But
Mhm.
it's so weird because they're all flat. Like it's
Mhm.
just unlike any climb you've ever seen.
Does that mess up your effort?
No, it's just different. It's like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I think like you, I was like, oh, Alpe d'Huez. And I think the first time I went there, I went and trained it before my first Tour de France. And
Mhm.
it was like, this is weird. Like
Yeah.
I've never seen a climb like this.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Well, so that
Yeah.
that's my answer. Alpe.
Yeah. Cool. A lot
Um,
of history there.
yeah, for sure. If you weren't a cyclist, what sport would you be a professional in?
Mm. Well, these days I'm really into Nordic skiing. Like I trying my best to figure it out. I've done it for 8 years now. And I'm stoked because I keep getting better at it, which is super fun. I'm better than I was last year. So yeah, maybe I would pick that sport. I mean, I think it's a smaller sport than cycling as far as participation goes, but it's so hard. It's just incredibly hard. Like on a bike, you can get on a bike and use all of your physiological power to make that thing go faster. But on skis, unless you have the technique to match it, you actually go slower the harder you try. It's insane.
I think
What about you?
because you and I are so, like, well tuned. I don't know the right word, but we are so aware of being on a bike. It's like second nature to us. But if you put somebody that hasn't really raced a bike or ridden a bike competitively, their technique is horrible. You know, like they can't ride a bike fast. So I mean, I think it takes
Yeah, I
a
mean,
high level of
especially
technique to be a good rider.
especially racing in a peloton for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
But if,
yeah,
going up a hill, for example, it's like you really, I mean, compared to Nordic skiing, you're just pushing on the pedals.
yeah, dude. There's this quick step guy who was at Alula. I forget his name. His style when he's out of the out of the saddle, he is using so much energy. It is so inefficient. He's like he's moving his whole he's like
Is
this.
it is it Van Sevenant?
Yeah, 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 Maori
Yeah.
Van Semler, that's his name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh, you can spot that on television.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, I mean, I'm so tall, I think basketball would maybe be the best answer, although I'm not. Yeah, I would really need to train hard 'cause I'm not fast. I mean, I'm pretty coordinated, like, I have pretty good hand-eye coordination, but yeah, I when I played basketball in middle school, I didn't really love it to where I wanted to, like, practice, you know? Like, I just half-assed it.
Hmm.
Um, and so that's kinda hard. You love skiing, so you would, like, put the effort in to be a pro.
Hmm.
I think
Yeah, you gotta
cycling.
love whatever you choose.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I loved basketball, then I could see myself playing basketball. I just don't have the body to play football, even though I did really enjoy football. Um,
You're just an all-American boy, aren't you?
yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Baseball, no, dude, too slow and boring. Dude, I would not wanna go through the trials and tribulations of another endurance sport. We don't get paid enough, man, for all
Yeah,
the
I
hard
mean,
work we do.
I think the real answer is we found what we love and what we're good at, and that's
Yeah,
that's just it. I mean,
yeah,
it's hard to try to answer that question, really.
yeah, now what
Which
about a
this
9 to
next
5?
this next one might be even more difficult is if you weren't
Yeah,
a cyclist, what would your normal 9 to 5 career be?
yeah. I mean, I the easy answer would be to just follow in the footsteps of my dad who did real estate. I could learn the ropes from him and figure that out probably. But at some point, this might be a reality for me, so
Mhm.
I would really need to find something that I would enjoy doing, 'cause I have right now, my job being my passion, like, life is awesome. Like, I couldn't picture myself having to work every day and not enjoy what I do. So, I would have to find another thing that I'm passionate about.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna answer that question with just my own personal story, is that when I was 13 years old, I got on the bike, I saw that I think I told you, I had this VHS tape of the 1987 Tour de France, and I watched that thing so much, like, every day, maybe twice a day, like, over and over and over, like, it's just I found what I was good at, what I loved, and really what felt like I was put on earth to do, and I got to live out that dream for, 20 plus year career or whatever.
Mhm.
And so when it ended, I think it took I mean, I'm still sad about it that, it ended and I don't get to do it anymore. And I think the sadness was that when I look around in the world, I can't see anything else that is equal to that. And that's a hard thing to come to grips with. It's really, really fucking hard. And that's the best way I can answer that question.
Yeah. No, I mean, I imagine that I will feel the same way when I retire. But you've
Yeah.
done such a good job at managing to still stay in the cycling world and make money from it, which is pretty cool. Like, you got real crafty when you retired, and you started the Levi's Grand
Yeah.
Fondo,
Yeah, but
and
I've never made a dime from that event. That's
No?
just my way of no, I've never made a dime. Like, that's my
What?
way of giving back, yeah.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that, that's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it barely, it's a very small team. It's like 2 people full time. And, they have other events. It's Bike
Mhm.
Monkey. It's as I mean, it looks like it makes a ton of money because of the amount of people that go, but dude, it's so expensive to put on a road event in the United
Yeah.
States
Yeah,
with
I imagine.
insurance and police costs and traffic control. It's just it's just crazy expensive. That's why the registration fee is so high. It's like nobody's making money and definitely not me. So
Yeah. Wow. But
I'm
I
lucky that
thought I thought it was just,
no,
like, awesome. Oh,
no, it's my way of still exercising my passion and
yeah,
making me feel good about you know, doing what I'm doing.
that's pretty badass, dude. Damn,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, so next question. In the first episode, you asked about best/favorite race. What was a race that you went into with confidence/felt good, but in the end, you bonked? So, I mean, in the end,
Yeah.
that you didn't have a good
Failed.
experience. Yeah,
Yeah.
fail. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's definitely failures are part of the game. I mean, I remember I think the first thing that comes to mind is I won the Tour of California 3 years in a row. We got this brand new sponsor in Radio Shack. They made a big deal out of the Tour of California going into what would be my fourth win in a row. I remember they made shirts that said California with the number 4 on it before the race, like a lot of pressure. And I ended up third overall. So,
Mm,
you know, normally you'd be like, sweet, I'm on the podium, but it was like such in a sense, of like a failure for me. It was hard.
damn. Can't
Yeah.
imagine being so good that 3rd place in a World Tour stage race is a
Yeah, I
failure.
mean, I guess it's funny because in the moment I was so disappointed, but looking back, like I should feel grateful that I was in the position to feel let down by third place, which meant
Yeah,
that I had won 3 years in a row, and those were amazing 3 years, like incredible.
yeah.
So,
That's pretty amazing. Um,
yeah. What about
I
you?
man, that's a hard one. I haven't really had the privilege of being, like, a designated sole leader for a race in my career so far where, like, the training has been okay, well, how about this? World Championships last year,
I was gonna
I
say time trial.
yeah, I trained my ass off for for that event, and my goal was I had, like, kinda 3 goals. I was like, if I was on the best day of my life and I had, like, the best legs ever, I wanted to go for top 5. A realistic, but, like, hard goal, I wanted to be top 10 in the world, and then I came up just short in 11th, um, and so that felt a little bittersweet, like, when I crossed the line and I was told I was 11th, well, I crossed the line in 7th, and then when everybody finished, it came out to be 11th. Um, that was a bit bittersweet. I was frustrated, but then quickly it turned into, like, I kinda just realized that, like, if if you had told 18-year-old me that I would have been 11th in the world as an under 23 rider in the TT, I would have told you to kick rocks. But, so, you kinda just have to put it in perspective,
Yeah,
in the
exactly
moment.
what I just said.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, but then there were plenty of times, like, I didn't win under 23 nationals for 4 years, and I did it twice, before the 4th year when I won. Um, and I was, like, out of the top 10 the first time and barely in the top 10 the second time, and then I won the 3rd time that I did it. And all those times I thought that I could win, you know? Every time I went into that race, I thought I could win the TT, and it never worked out, and those were all failures, but, it comes together finally. Um, so, and I'm sure I'm gonna have plenty of these stories in the future.
Don't you think that just missing out on what your goal was is like the ultimate growing experience? Like it actually motivates you quite a bit
Yeah, I mean, it's 100%
because you're
fuel to the
so
fire.
close. Yeah.
Yeah, it just adds fuel to the fire. Um, yeah, I mean, when you're training every day, you sometimes often get into these visualizations, where you feel these emotions that you've had in the
Mhm.
past.
And you're going to
Uh,
draw back on that
yeah,
experience.
and I'm gonna draw
Yeah.
back on how it felt to be 11th
Hmm.
at World Championships and not top 10, or to I'm sure I'll come 2nd in some race where I could have won or should have won. And it's
Yeah.
always I think you've even said it in a previous episode. Those have been the moments for you that have defined your career or have defined your training to what then has defined your career when you've won races. So,
Absolutely. I mean, I totally remember it was like 2005, maybe. I lost a 1 hour time trial in the Dauphiné to Santiago Botero by like 0.15 seconds in
mm,
1 hour.
mm,
He won, I was second. And I credit that loss to winning multiple time trials where that was in my head during training on my time trial bike and during races that I won where it was like, man, you just do not let off the gas. Every little pedal stroke counts.
yeah,
So,
that's
yeah.
badness.
Um, the next one. This is question 5A for Levi. If you had to race one against one versus a current pro, who would you have a shot against?
Mm,
I was thinking about this because one versus one doesn't really, I mean, you can't really have a one versus one race. But when I think about that question, I think about Remco because I was a 60, 62 kilogram rider. Like I think he is. We ride the same size bike. We're about the same height.
yeah,
We're both, I used to kind of consider myself one of, if not the best 60 kilogram time trialist in the sport. Um, I will start off by saying I think he's better than me, but I would like to see, if we could somehow put us together at the top of our game with the same equipment on the same course, the same conditions. I'd like to see how I did because I don't know if it's correct, but I've seen some of his average watts in time trial and it's like, oh, I used to do that. So that that would be interesting for me.
that would be really cool, and
But I will say he's definitely a better rider. I never won the world's time trial. I mean, he's won like 3 times now or 4 times. World's road race,
whatever it
Olympic.
is, I think if you had access to the same level of training and support, nutrition, equipment as him, I think you could have done it.
Yeah, maybe, but like the for my day, everybody had that access, right? So it's me versus the people in my day, and I never did. I was never Olympic road race champion or world road race champion. Like I was not even close to winning those.
Mhm.
So he's definitely a better rider than me. But I think when it comes to the time trial, I think we'd be close.
Yeah, that would be really fun to see. That'd be
Yeah.
so cool. Um,
What about
Gosh,
you? I think
for
that's the next
me,
question for you, right? You have to race a former pro.
yeah, a
So if you
form
think about, I think I know who you're going to say, but if you had to stack yourself against someone who, with your capabilities, who would
dude,
that be?
I think you're not thinking of who I'm thinking.
Oh,
Somebody who really inspired me, who was kind of an underdog, um, he inspired when I broke my collarbone as a junior. I listened to his I listened to a podcast that he was on talking about how he overcame that, and then like 6 weeks later, after he broke his collarbone, he won Roubaix. Matt Heyman.
I was teammates with Matt.
He I see myself a lot in him, like a guy who is just has so much power and is so strong, but there were a lot of guys that were just better than him. But finally, when it all came together for him, he won the
Uh-huh.
biggest race in the world, the biggest one-day race in the world, you know? Um, but it would be really cool, like, wherever I get to in my career, when I'm at my peak, I would have loved to, like, 1v1 that dude in the velodrome in Roubaix after 6 hours, me v. Matt Heyman. That'd be so cool.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
that's definitely possible. I mean, I was teammates with him. You're every bit as good as he was. Yeah.
yeah. He was an incredible rider.
The thing about that story is I've seen it many times is where a rider gets injured, they're forced to do less, and then they end up having the result of their lives, which just goes to show as athletes, we probably push ourselves too hard,
yeah,
which goes back to the thing I was telling you about, like, don't keep overreaching in your intervals with the wattage. You don't have to
yeah,
do that.
yeah,
Because he rode the trainer. Like when he won Roubaix, he was forced to ride the trainer, right?
yeah,
And which probably, I mean, I'm sure he rode it a lot and he rode it hard and it suffered, but in 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 general, it was less than he was normally doing.
mhm,
So he came in fresh.
yeah. No, it's that is so true because, there's been plenty of times where I've gone into a race thinking I was in the best shape of my life because my CTL on Training Peaks was so high, but, man, you just don't have that extra gear, you know? You're
Yeah,
just flat.
yeah.
Okay, last question from Robbie, um, for
I think
Cole.
that was the last question, wasn't it?
Oh, oh, yeah, you just kinda spat it right back at me, and I didn't even
Yeah,
realize. Okay.
yeah.
Well, thanks,
We
Robbie.
did it.
Those
So
are great
wait,
questions.
so next race for you, UAE tour?
Yeah, UAE Tour. I'm excited for the time trial, but
What how
also
long is it?
nervous. It's, only 12K
Flat?
flat. Yeah.
Is it stage one?
I believe so. I, look, here's my TT bike. Set up on the trainer right there.
There you go. Getting ready.
Um, I've
Do you live
got
in Old Town, by the way?
I live in Old Town, yep,
Yeah, I can tell by the
by the
wall
rock on
behind
the
you.
wall. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I haven't been able to ride the TT bike as much as I've wanted to. It wasn't ready at teen camp. I went out on, one day on it, and the riser, the angled riser snapped off.
Oh,
They had to get a new piece, so that took a while, so I haven't been able to ride it as much as I wanted to. And I'm waiting to get I'm supposed to get some custom, not custom, but I ordered a pair of bars. They're kind like semi-custom. For hopefully they arrive before, the UAE tour, but I don't know. I'm a bit bummed
for your race bike.
for my race bike, yeah. But I haven't even gotten to train on them and everything. Um, so I don't know. It's not gonna be ideal. and I'm a bit bummed because it's my first ever World Tour race. But I'm gonna go in optimistic and just try and shit some watts. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What for, as you said, 12K, what's your pacing strategy like for 12K?
I haven't looked at the wind. It's gonna be heavily dependent on the wind. If it's headwind out, tailwind back, which it's been
Uh,
in various editions, I'm
then it's
just
a
gonna
6K time trial.
yeah, then it's a 6K time trial, and I'm just gonna try and go as hard as I can to the turn, and then,
Mhm.
I'm just
Hang
gonna
on for
try and
dear
be
life.
as yeah, I'm gonna be as like, thinking about shrugging, as keeping my head down and just going as hard as I can for the turn. It'll be I can suffer endlessly for 7 minutes. That's nothing. So I can do anything for 7 minutes. I'll just do that, and
6K
then
into a headwind at 7 minutes.
yeah, I
Is
mean,
that right? What's that
it'll
average
be
speed?
it'll be over 50 Ks an hour for sure.
Into the
Dude,
headwind?
if I'm doing what I think I can do for 7 minutes, I'll be going over 50 Ks an hour.
My
So,
strategy was always like in time trials. Like I was never good at starts. I was always the fastest at the end, but my strategy was, for example, if it's 12K, let's just say there's no wind is not a factor. I would just treat it like it was an 8K time trial and just hang on for dear life at the end,
yeah,
which actually was crazy because I would still be slow in the beginning and end up winning. For some reason, I just needed to like really hurt myself to open up and get going.
really? Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna look into it for sure, but yeah, if it's, like, really strong wind, then you can't really make much time. Like, there's a terminal speed on the bike. You can't
In the
go
tailwind.
in the tailwind
Yeah.
section. It's gonna
Yeah.
be all the headwind section.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, CDA matters so much, and
Mhm.
I don't have the best CDA. But if I can just go really hard and try and be as arrow as possible, then maybe I could do a good result. Top
Well, it's
top
CDA
20 would be
versus watts. I mean, yeah, you don't have the best CDA compared to me, but you got a lot more wattage.
yeah, but Remco's gonna be there, so he has
Uh,
both.
yeah. Okay. Well, let's not compare yourself to Remco. Okay. Let's compare yourself to you at the Worlds when you were 11th.
Yeah. No, I think top 20 would be a really good result for me. Like, top 20 basically, like, all the best time trialists will be there, you know?
Mhm.
So if I could get top 20 at UAE Tour, that would be huge. Will that happen? Find out.
Who else is a favorite going besides Remco?
Maybe Josh Tarling? I assume I haven't looked at the start list. Actually, let's look right now.
Donna?
Hopefully it's can you still see me?
Yeah.
Okay, I went to another tab. Let's go pro cycling stats. Let's see. I feel like Ghana's falling off a little bit. I don't know. That might just
In the
be
time trials, you mean?
yeah, in the time trials. Um, let's see. UAE Tour. Um, 2026. Isaac Del Toro. Um, Jonas Vingegaard.
Huh.
Um, hmm. You know who you kind of remind me of as a rider? Elon Van Wilder. You look very similar to him. Let's see more on the start list. Okay, well, the start list isn't like full yet. Uh,
So for the overall, it's going to be Remco, Del Toro, and Vanguard.
yeah, 100%. That'll be
What
the
what's
podium.
that climb? Is there two uphills or one?
There's two, dude. The new they made a new climb for this race. I think they like built this climb, and it is supposedly effed. Let me see if I can if there's okay route stages. Uh, ooh, uh, okay, so we do Jabal Hafit on stage 6, which is like that, it's that highway climb that's like 6%. And then we do Jabal Mobra. Let me tell you about this climb.
The Mobra.
It's a hockey stick climb.
What does
And
that mean? Did it get steeper and steeper?
no, like it's like a pancake flat day. and then it's
Oh,
just a hockey stick at the end, you know? It just goes straight
mhm.
up.
So it's like an
It's,
interval.
yeah, basically, it's gonna be a power test, but
Man.
the first ramp is 4.8 Ks at 7.5%, little downhill, and then the last 7 Ks are at 12%.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Vanguard.
You think so?
I mean, if it he has to drop Del Toro, though, because Del Toro will beat him in the sprint. I don't think Remco's gonna survive that.
Yeah, maybe a bit too steep for Remco, although, he just mopped the floor in Mallorca, so he looks like
Yeah,
he's
I
in
mean,
pretty
it's the field's not that great in Mallorca, though.
yeah. Uh, Vingegaard crashed in training, though, did you see that?
Mhm.
I wonder if that I mean,
Yeah, just so I mean, I saw some reports, like, was he, like, trying to drop that guy, or was he just I mean, when I see that, I'm like, "Dude, just let the guy go ahead of you," like,
yeah, I mean, that's an ego thing, right? Like, why should
but
you
I
care
don't know.
about
I
anything?
mean, I don't know what exactly happened, so
Yeah, just purely speculation, I don't know either.
right. I mean, the
Um,
guy says he was trying to drop him. That doesn't mean he was trying to drop him.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I also don't understand though, like, I've learned this now in training after I crashed last year at training camp and hurt myself pretty bad. Uh, dude, there's no point to send it in training at all.
No,
Like,
you're on
just
open roads, like,
yeah,
dude, the consequences on the road bike are so high, like,
yeah,
I've never sent it on downhills.
mm-mm.
Well,
Yeah, I'm sure you did at some point.
yeah, I did. I stopped more and more as I got older.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll also put my money on Vingegaard. I think I mean, he's in a league of his own, right? You see it every year. It's Pogačar, Vingegaard, and then Remco's always, like, 3rd best. I'm curious to see how, uh, Del Toro is, though.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Del Toro, so I'd like him to win, but he's gonna have to hang on to Vanguard. I think Vanguard, like 7K at 12%, that's just a one speed, like try to drop him,
Yeah.
which
Mhm.
it's not guaranteed. I mean, Del Toro's still getting better. Vanguard isn't.
Yeah. Oh, you think that? You think Pogačar and
Yeah.
Vingegaard are at their peak?
I think if they have room to grow, it's very small amounts. Where Del Toro's young, I mean, it's his what is it, his third year in the world tour? Yeah, he's definitely gonna get better.
Mhm. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun race.
Yeah. So on that note, good luck. I've got a
Thank
Nordic
you.
race in Sun Valley, Idaho on Saturday.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it
So
a Masters field?
no, it's like they separate it into waves. So like the
Mhm.
best go first, and I'm in the first wave.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's like 75 people in the first wave.
Oh, wow.
So I'll just try to hang on to like the fastest group I can.
What's
Um,
the course like?
it's 34 kilometers and it's a net loss. So draft is important, but
Mm,
it starts off with a little bit of climbing, but really it's like short, punchy climbs, which, I don't have that kind of capacity. So I'll just try to like suffer as much as I can and then hopefully stay in the draft of a good group.
dude, that's gonna be fun. Let me know how you do.
Yeah, I will. And I'll be watching you. So good luck.
Thanks, bro. It was good to talk to
Yeah,
you. Take care,
you
man.
too. See ya.